All right. Allow me just to take this time just to greet all of you. I'm excited for all of you joining this platform. Welcome to Called Out Podcast Experience. My name is Ntsikelelo, and I'm excited that you are joining us. I'm recording this episode in the evening, so a very good evening to you. Obviously, it might arrive to other people night, so a very good night to you. Others, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good day to you. Just a little bit, we have really not done podcasts before, and this is our first experience. And in order for me to not forget the most important things that I wanted to discuss with you this evening, I had written down a number of things. So excuse me when I keep on gazing at my phone. It's not disrespect that I mean. I literally mean to remember some of the points that I wrote down. Whether you are listening to us obviously from Galeshewe, Kimberley, Northern Cape, South Africa, you are listening to us from Africa or somewhere around the world. Thank you so much for taking a special time to be able to join us on this particular journey. Now, this podcast is born out of a simple burden. And this burden was groomed through a process of observation. And it became so strong in the heart that we couldn't ignore it anymore. Here's the burden. People are talking to each other more than ever. They're talking to each other more than before. But people are understanding each other very, very less. And we are at an all-time less understanding of one another. We're living in a generation where there's a lot of information. There are too many things that are being advertised to us on different platforms of social media. Not only social media, we have television, we have everyday things that we are seeing everywhere. So there's a lot of information. But really there's less and less knowledge and less wisdom. We are living in a generation of many opinions, which are not necessarily the truth. And when you are sitting back and you're just watching at this, and you are looking at it repeatedly, you end up becoming grieved by the process. We're living in a generation that is so heavily connected through social media. But yet, the great disconnection obviously is in the area of purpose. It's in the area of identity. And these are some of the things we need to talk about. Every day we are being told what to think. We are being told who to follow. On a daily basis, we are being told what to believe. Obviously, some might also be feeling that the algorithm is a lens through which certain information is driven to them, but also certain measures of information is seen that away from them. We are being told who to vote for in the area of politics. We are being told what success looks like. We are being told nice watches, nice glasses, amazing wife, amazing husband. You are being told nice car, nice house. And there's no problem with all of these things. The only problem is that we are gradually being shaped into something that even when we look at it, we will not be able to identify it and call itself. And so these are the things we need to really speak about. We are being told how our relationships they should look. We are even being told how we need to view ourselves. And this is a burden, this is a grief really. It's something that we need to sincerely speak about. So despite all of these noises, people they still wake up on a daily basis and they have many questions. I think the 6 troubling questions, they are the most difficult questions to answer. Question number 1, where do I come from? And it's a question of origin, not ethnicity. Question number 2 is, who am I? It's a question of identity, not name and surname. Question number 3 is, why am I here? It's a question of purpose. Not necessarily that you are seeking to investigate your intentions. And then question number 4, what can I do? That's a question of ability. Question number 5, the great Dr. Miles Monroe, what can I truly do? It's a question of potential. And then the other one is, where am I going? Many people are simply going to retire. Many people are simply going to die. But where am I going is a question of destiny. It's not a question of location. It's not a question of what happens after retirement. And so when you look at all of these questions that are grieving us, they are modern politics, they are modern religion, they are modern business, they are modern economics, they are modern the shape of culture, the shape of faith as we have it in our day. But if we're going to discuss all of these things, we'll all have to agree on something. We'll need to discuss all of these things at the point of intersection. We'll need to bring all these subjects, all the seven mountains of influence, and all these questions that I've been asking, and also bring along uh, the crisis of our modern day so that we're able to talk about it. This is a place where I feel like we'll be comfortable to speak about purpose, about faith. We'll speak able to speak about leadership. We'll be able to speak about culture, identity, about business, about truth. And when all of these things collide together, we're able to extract ideas that are meaningful. Ideas that when you leave this place, you'll say, that conversation was worth listening to. And I trust that this is going to be worth listening to. Welcome to Called Out. So when we say called out, why actually are we saying called out? Obviously, many people that have heard me speak about called out before, they know that I'll be saying called out is the word ecclesia, coming from the word ek, kaleo, the word out, call. Ek is out, kaleo is called. So the people that are called out. We're not going to call out people and expose the nefarious things that people have done. But we are going to call out people from confusion, from mediocrity. We are going to call out people from lack of purpose. We're going to call people into purpose, into clarity, into destiny. And when we do this thing effectively, enough, obviously, through a series of conversations that we're going to have, we'll begin to discover that every person in history actually responded to calling. You can think about Aristotle, Socrates, you can think about Plato, you can think about all these great thinkers who have shaped actually what our day looks like now. They all responded to a great call. We can think about even modern day politicians. You can think about, especially for those ones that come from the perspective of South Africa, they can think about Nelson Mandela. They can think about politicians like Walter Sisulu. We can think about Robert Mangalisisa Sobukwe. We can think about Solomon Tekishoplaikis. We can think about these other people that have responded to their call. And so obviously we need to speak to everybody else that says, you know what, I think also I'm ready to respond to the call. I'm ready to be called out of my limitation, out of my weakness, out of my light. So leaders, they must respond to a calling. Business people must respond to a calling. Even us doing this podcast is actually us responding to a calling. We're being called into something. And I believe that it's a great platform for us to be able to have a conversation. I'm looking at the opportunity to obviously host different people. We'll be having conversations with different people in these spaces that will help us to advance our cause. The cause is to discuss very difficult things. And when people are able to listen to those things, they're able to say this is very, very beneficial. And so it is important for all of us then to position ourselves like that. I'm a born again Christian, and therefore from the Christian faith, my understanding is that God calls ordinary people to do extraordinary things. I believe that this is an extraordinary assignment, and I'm just an ordinary man, an ordinary brother, an ordinary pastor that is just being called to do this great thing. I look at it, I don't take it light. I look at it and I understand exactly why this day, this age, this particular season, and under the particular circumstances that we had to be called. Because the greatest tragedy is not failing. There's nothing wrong with failing. The greatest sadness, the greatest grief in life is not failing. The greatest tragedy that many people are going through is not discovering why they exist. It's not knowing their purpose, not knowing who they are. So this podcast, really, we are seeking for an ability or grounds to be able to challenge that. And if we're going to challenge that properly, we need to discuss a number of things. And one of the things that are very close to my heart, the crisis of our generation. Number one, this is the thing that we're going to discuss. I believe that one of the biggest crises that our generation is faced with. It's not an economic crisis, not a political crisis, not a technological crisis, not a spiritual, not an academic crisis. It's an identity crisis. This is why we have uh, extremists on every end, on the terrible end and on the great end, and so much of a good thing becomes bad in that. So people know what they own, but people don't know who they are. People, they know and they are able to count the number of followers that they have. People are, they are masters of the algorithm, masters of the matrix. People have mastered how to analyze what is going to trend next. But sincerely speaking, people, they are no longer working in their purpose. And this is not something to make people feel bad about. It's something really to talk about, to say it's one of those difficult things that we must sincerely be ready to talk about. And to be honest with you, I am ready to talk about it. So people, they know what they are able to do. But my greatest question that I ask on a daily basis is, do you know why you're doing it? Have you forgotten why? Do you remember why? And this is why we need to talk about this. Excuse me when I just keep on looking at my phone. I'm just trying to get to see how far am I on my notes, so that I can be able obviously to deliver all of the points, but not only all of the points, to come across systematically, of course. So we have become experts at branding. We have become experts at branding while we are still remaining strangers to ourselves. I was asking a difficult question the other time, and I think towards the end of this, so if you are going to watch until the end, I will share the question. So watch until the end. So whenever identity becomes unclear, we are going to attract three things. Number one, confusion. Number two, chaos. And then number three, the great collapse. Things are just going to begin to collapse. Things are going to become chaotic because we have an identity crisis. When purpose becomes absent, distractions, they become attractive. It becomes amazing to become distracted. When truth becomes absent, opinions, they sound very convincing. And so can we create a platform where we can speak the truth? Can we be able to discuss difficult things with the people that are around? This is why so many people are searching. They're searching for meaning, they're searching for direction, they're searching for guidance, they're searching for answers. And there's nothing wrong with searching, but we need to talk to our people and ask the question, where are the people looking at when they are searching? Where are the people looking at? The second great topic I'd like for us to discuss every time we gather here is our faith and culture. One of the greatest goals of this podcast, called out podcast experience, is for us to be able to speak on the things that are shaping us on a daily basis. Faith, culture. Culture shapes how we think. It shapes what we celebrate, how we celebrate it. It shapes what we normalize. It shapes what we call right and what we call wrong. But the truth of the matter is that culture is not always right, is it? Because culture progresses. Sometimes culture regresses. So the truth of the matter is sometimes culture solves problems. And another uncomfortable truth is that sometimes culture, it does create problems. So the question is, how do we evaluate it? What standard do we use to be able to bring a corrective measure to culture? If everything is changing, then how do we know what should be kept constant or what is constant? These are the conversations that we are willing to have every time we engage on this platform. Not to create division. I understand now, obviously, there will be some kind of division that is being felt. The idea is not to create division. It is not to attack any person or any group of people. The idea is to think deeply, to think about difficult things, to think about challenging concepts, to even challenge assumptions, to pursue truth. And the difficult part is to arrive at the end of the road where truth is leading us. Truth is leading us somewhere. Another subject I think it is important for us to be able to discuss is the state of manhood and leadership. I think this is one that is close to my heart. That if we can openly speak about manhood and openly speak about leadership, particularly the crisis of manhood and the crisis of masculinity, the crisis of leadership in our times and in our generation. Many young people today, they have access to a lot of information, but they have no access to good mentors. Many young people now, they have great confidence, but they don't have discipline. And so we have substituted discipline for the sake of confidence. Many young men, they have a lot of ambition, but lack of direction. There's a lot of potential, but no guidance. And because of that, it takes us to the thing which I spoke about just now. It takes us back to the chaos. It takes us back to the great collapse. It takes us back to a time of crisis. And so how do we recover? How do we recover? Many people are searching for role models. Some find good models, and others, they find destructive ones. Leadership is not dominance. I hope you understand this, guys. Leadership is not dominance. Leadership is responsibility, it's sacrifice. Leadership is accountability. Leadership is an act of service. Nothing more, nothing less than influencing others to be able to possess a heart of servanthood. And until we take this posture, we'll not be able to develop great leaders in the community, great leaders in the church, great leaders in the city, in the municipality, politics, in government, and in the state. So we may need to talk about this. But also another thing we need to talk about is entrepreneurship and purpose. I also want to speak about business, economics, obviously. Not because money is everything, although the Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes that money is the answer to all things. Not because of that. But because purpose, most of the time, it requires resources. Vision requires provision, most of the time. So Africa is full of potential. If you look at Africa now, full of potential. South Africa, full of potential. You look at Kimberley, it has great potential. It has brilliant minds, creative thinkers. They are innovative problem solvers. But in the midst of all of this, if we do not soon enough learn how to shape resources in order for us to sponsor certain realities that exist in our minds only, then we will not be able to find a proper platform for us to manifest. So many people are waiting for opportunities instead of creating them. And this is what we want to talk about. How do we create a platform where opportunities can be created? So we need to speak about problem solving, creating value, building systems, serving people. We need to speak about creating employment. We need to speak about transforming communities. So business can be a calling. Business is a calling. If you just have a proper lens to be able to look at it. And if you master the ability to look at it in that fashion, then we get to a place where business does not only become a calling, but it becomes a vehicle for impact. It becomes the answer to so many problems to our society, so many ills to our society. So I know I've spoken to it for a long time. So why are we going to have long conversations? Because one of the things we are going to have is long conversations. Social media, it rewards speed. This is why you have your 30 seconds reels, you have your 1 minute reels. And people are excited just to get a power line to be able to post because it relates to them. But truth requires patience. It requires for us to slice into it, to be able to access what is on the inside. It's like a watermelon. Truth is like a watermelon. You understand it when you get to the center of it. On the outside, you still don't understand it. So social media, obviously, it rewards reactions, not responses. But if we're going to build a generation of people that are responsive, not only reactive, we're going to need to talk long. So please don't say that your time is being wasted by this. So social media, it rewards certainty, but growth begins with questions, hard questions, challenging questions, difficult questions. And we need to be open for this. And that is why the platform exists. Called out podcast experience. We are not going to do 30 seconds reels that are going to go viral and time. Although that would be exciting. And if we do have an opportunity to have a number of the things that we say to go viral, then amazing, then great. But what we are really going to do, we are not here for clickbait. We are not here just for viral outrages. No, that's not why we're here. We want to be able to build meaningful conversations. We want to be able to have an intellectual violence happening. We want to literally have a great disagreement and then find a way to balance it so that every person walks away having extracted meaning from the conversation. So sometimes we will agree, sometimes, of course, we are going to disagree. Let us keep it respectful. Disagree with me on the comments. Agree with me on the comments. Tell me that you like what we do, you don't like what we do on the comments. That would be great. But not only that, in the end, we must seek a way to be able to understand each other and then build each other. So, last point, what can we expect from Called Out Podcast Experience? What can we expect from it? In the future, we are going to speak with entrepreneurs, we are going to speak with pastors, we are going to speak with academics, we are going to speak with musicians, with artists, we are going to speak with ministers, political thinkers, we are going to speak with commentators, pundits, we are going to think with church members, the ordinary person on the street, we are going to speak with people that are bound in drugs, people that have suffered abuse of different sorts. We are going to speak with victims and victors. We are going to speak to young innovators, ordinary and extraordinary people. We are going to speak with those people that we can call superheroes and those people that we can say they've been saved by the superhero. So no topic is off limits. We are going to literally dig and slice into every topic. And obviously we're going to be keeping it all radical, go to the extent of doing root analysis. We are going to speak about faith, politics, culture, religion, relationship, leadership, dating, courting. We are going to speak about marriage. We are going to speak about children, the number of children one should have. We're going to speak about careers, unconventional careers, conventional. We are going to literally speak about personal development, personal branding. We're going to speak about personal growth. We are going to literally dig and slice into every subject. We're going to speak about things that are current affairs, we're going to speak about news, we're going to speak about sports, we're going to speak about literally everything. But in the end, there's something we're seeking for. We are seeking for a time where we are able to say to people, we can be able to extract meaning from these conversations. Everything is going to be on the table. So if you want to know my final thoughts, these are my final thoughts. Even as I close this episode, if everything today that you have was taken away from you, it was stripped from you, all the money that you have, the title that you have, the income that you've built, the house, the position, the status that you have, the followers that you have on social media, your reputation, the integrity that you've built, the profile that you build on different platforms of social media, different websites that we've built. Who would you be if literally everything was stripped from you? This is the question that I said I wanted to ask you when I get to my end. Who will you be? Why? Because until you can be able to answer this question honestly, we are not able to live from a place of satisfaction, from a place of intent and a place of purpose. So my prayer is that this podcast will not only entertain you, it will not only be a disruption in your time, in your schedule, and this podcast will be a blessing, and you will become a catalyst for transformation, a platform for discussions. So love better, lead stronger, be courageous, be bold, called out, podcast experience. Ntsikelelo as Nqonga. Until we meet next time, stay calm. Bye bye.